Mike on my left. Today, actually, I thought it was going to rain, so I was hoping a lot more viewers would tune into us, but the weather looks like it's getting a little nice out.
Yep.
So what's on the agenda for today, Mike?
We're going to be having live entertainment. We have karaoke singers. We have live bands coming down. We have some dancers from Rosemary School of Dance coming down. Local politicians will be coming down, members of Access 8. It'll just be a pretty busy day. A lot of footage of the train excursions, which was just on now. And we're going to go back to that footage. That was actually shot from the cab of the locomotive. And they'll have some footage that Don did later of the excursions coming into town and the turntable operating.
What was Charles doing, hanging out the window with the camera?
I think they tied him to the side, just kind of held him there, but he got some great shots.
You know what I'd like, if you could explain to the viewers what exactly Access 8 Television is about, as far as what Access Television is.
Access Television, hence Access 8, is public access cable, which means that residents are entitled to have an opportunity to get their views, their beliefs, their message across to people through the cable. It's actually a law that people have a right to do that, just like they have access radio stations where people have the right to access the airwaves for audio purposes. People have a right to access the cables that run to their homes to also get their message. We have a core of volunteers who produce a lot of the programming down here. We've been always lucky to have that. And part of our mission has been, doing government meetings, local community events. We are the school board meetings from DV. Musical programs. It's always been a diverse format down here, which is what Access Television is all about. It's very diversified. One program might be about X, and then the next program is about totally something different. And the telethon is how we raise operating money for our day-to-day expenses. Cables, wires. We get a major expenditure from the city through cable, or Time Warner now, I think it is, every year. But the day-to-day operations, tapes here and there, wires, adapters. A piece of the mic doesn't work, you got to get a new adapter. This is where we get our operating money for those types of purchases.
Now, as program director, if somebody out there has a tape that they want shown on Access 8, what's the procedure that they have to follow?
You can send us a tape to P.O. Box 321, Port Jervis, New York, with a running time, how long it is. The quality should be good. If we operate on VHS, that's your regular home equipment. So it should be on SP, which is the fastest speed, 2 hours only. And try to make sure the tape is of good quality. Don't give us a copy of a copy of a copy, because it won't look good going out over the system. We can't air commercially produced programs unless it's released with a waiver saying we can air it, and it can't have any commercial content. Can't advertise a product, so to speak.
And another thing I wanted, if you can go over the bulletin board, how our bulletin board works for any organizations that might be watching.
The bulletin board operates, it's for nonprofit organizations, church groups, civic organizations. If they're operating fundraisers for their group, having penny socials, bingo games, whatever it is, they're entitled to post that on our bulletin board. We try to keep the bulletin board up to date as possible. However, it's very time consuming. A volunteer has to actually sit down and key everything into the computer, and sometimes that takes a little bit longer than we'd like. We also had a little bit of problem with our computer. The Amiga computer we have had since, I think, '92, and it's been running every day, 24 hours a day since then. So the computer's been a little stubborn. We've had a problem with the memory. We just had the whole thing overhauled by one of our members who's also very good with Amiga computers, so it's been running a lot better. So we think we've solved that problem. They can send it to our address. They can drop it off. 2 weeks in advance is preferable. And if they want to follow up with a phone call if they haven't seen it on, that would be appreciated too. Sometimes we are a volunteer organization, so those things sort of fall through the cracks. It gets put in someone's mailbox, or it falls out of a box, and someone thinks it got entered and it didn't get entered.
But if anybody's interested in joining Access 8, our meetings are the first Wednesday of the month at 7 o'clock. So if you feel like it, just come down and you can introduce yourself, and we'll let you know a little bit about how you become a member. Okay?
Yep, sounds good.
So, Mayor,
Well,
we'll give you a chance to
okay.
speak now.
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure being here, and you're 11 years. And you think about that, those 11 years are 11 years of volunteers making Access 8 a reality. And Access 8, I remember when Michael was young, and he was involved down at City Hall in a closet across from where the council chambers are today, where the city court has been renovated. And that's when Access 8 moved to this location, which is nice and large and gives you a lot of opportunities to do more programming. But we were talking before, and one of the critical issues, of course, is money. and that's why we're here today to ask the community to support Access 8. The city does subsidize Access 8 through our franchise agreement with Time Warner, but that money's not enough to do all the things that they need to have done and to replace equipment, as Mike was saying. And you can't see it at home, but there's equipment all around us, and there's a lot of people are required to run this equipment, and they're all volunteers, and they all give of their time. And one of the things I learned when we were just chatting before going on air is how many volunteers it actually takes to make a program on a weeknight, between 2 cameras and the control room and the audio and then the editing of all that. Some of the volunteers spend literally 2 or 3 nights a week just to put one program on. So it does take a lot of time, and that's what we'd like to ask also, people to get involved. The Access 8 crew has been filming live the council meetings at City Hall, and that's an excellent service to the community, especially for people who can't necessarily have the time to run down to City Hall or maybe are homebound and can't get out. To bring that government right into the home of an individual, I think is a tremendous accomplishment for Port Jervis. A lot of areas that do not have that. For example, the city of Middletown, council meetings are not on TV. And that's a city that's more than twice our size, and they don't have that service to bring into the homes of their citizens. Here in Port Jervis, we have that, and Deer Park has that. So it's a tremendous service that you're providing, and I want to compliment you all on that and thank you for that. And with that, I'd like to be, I guess, the first, I hope, of many to make a contribution today on behalf of my wife, Linda, myself, and my family.
Thank you
And
very
keep
much.
up the good work.
Thank you. I'd also like to thank Mayor Warden on behalf of Access 8, because anytime we've called upon him, he's always helped us out in any way that he can. In fact, he came down to the Mr. Phil show, or the Carl Richards show. Carl Richards, and said hello to everybody and helped us in our pitch for our telethon. So I'd like to thank you very much again.
Well, the only reason I haven't come to Mr. Phil's, they may ask me to sing.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
We don't want to do that.
It's like me singing.
Carl is always trying to get me to play the tambourine. He had me on tape one time doing that, and I haven't lived that down yet.
Yeah, we do have a problem with audio in Matamoros today, for those viewers who maybe can hear it. If you know anybody in Matamoros, the problem is somewhere on their cable system, because the audio on our distribution through Deer Park and Port Jervis seems to be going out okay. So just in case you know someone over there and they call, call the cable company. We can't help you.
That's a good
I
point.
think that
Is that a lot of people have asked me from Matamoros why they don't see Access 8 or there's problem. It's actually a separate cable company.
Right.
It's not Time Warner
Right.
that services the area, so there has to be agreements between the cable companies. It's not really anything to do with Access 8 or your negotiations with them. It's more with the cable companies.
Well, we have coming up in a couple seconds now footage of the train excursion. We're going to finish Charles's tape. Charles is the one who did the tape out of the cab of the locomotive. Then when we come back, we'll have some more interviews.
That sounds terrific. So please stay tuned to Access 8 and watch our telethon, which will run till 8 p.m. this evening. And let me give you the numbers you can call. The pledge phones, the number is 858-2061. I have to read them off the other wall. 858-1053 and 858-0951. I think you have a shot of that on the camera right now.
And they should be scrolling at the bottom of the screen, I hope.
Okay, terrific. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and
Happy
keep
birthday.
watching. Thank you very much. hope you enjoyed the tape of the train. Charles Atkins, thank you very much for making that tape for us. Right now, I'm here with Robert Onfrey, a local attorney who's running for a city court judge. Lila Levy's position, I guess, is being vacated.
That's right, yeah.
And from what I understand, your family's been around Port Jervis for a long time.
Quite a long time, quite a long time. My grandfather moved here, 40, 50 years ago, and my father, our entire family, I have 9 brothers and sisters, most of whom have stayed here in Port Jervis. But I'm here today really to show appreciation for all you do for the community. I've been very active in a lot of organizations over the past 20 years, so I know what volunteers go through in terms of donating their time. And on behalf of myself and my entire office, I wanted to give you this check to help you in your
Thank you very much.
telethon. And we find it's a tremendous service to the community. We have a number of clients, people that we speak to who simply can't get out, and the shows, whether it be televising the council meetings, school board meetings, athletic events, school functions, it really is a tremendous service to the people who are simply not able to get out and get to those functions. So my hat's off to you and all your volunteers. I think you do a great job.
This year is kind of exciting because we hope to videotape all the wrestling matches. And Don DeStefano has been doing our football games and has been doing a really good job with that. So we're hoping if we can get more sporting events, that will also attract younger viewing population.
No, there are a number of people that I talk to who have been viewing the football games televised, and of course all of the school events and council meetings, and again, it really provides a nice service, and I congratulate everybody down here.
Thank you. If anybody has any tapes, if they go and tape their child at an event like a school play, if we don't have a chance to tape it, we hope that anybody who happens to be taping an event that their child is in, you could always send that tape to us. That way more people can enjoy the tape. Now, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your background.
Well, I've lived here all my life. I born and raised here. My wife Linda is also a Port Jervis resident. Graduated from Port Jervis High School in 1967. And as I mentioned, I had 9 brothers and sisters, so money was in short supply. I attended Orange County Community College for 2 years, and then I finished my undergraduate work at the State University of Albany. And then I spent 3 years in Boston, getting my law degree. And I came back to Port Jervis to practice in 1976 and have been practicing law here for the last 20 years. I have been active in a variety of organizations. I feel very committed to this community. That's one of the reasons we came back. Both my wife and I felt that this is a great place to raise a family and of course, to be near both of our families. And I've been active in a number of service organizations, the school district, school board for 8 years, Mercy Hospital, St. Francis Hospital before then, Tri-State Daycare Center. I donate my time with the Women's Center, the Safe Homes, because I think they do a great job. Coaching and Little League, Pop Warner, helping them with their legal problems if they have any. We donate our time. And in fact, that's our firm is very committed. They're very involved, and in fact, that's one of the things that I insist on when people come to work, that they donate their time to the community.
Now, what made you decide after so many years working as an attorney to run for a judge?
Well, it's not we're not giving up my private practice. It is a city court position, is a part-time position, and although it does consume a lot of time, it is not a full-time position. And had been asked to consider that when Judge Levy decided to retire. And I'm at a point in my life where I think that this is something I very much want to do. I think I can make a difference with the community. I think I know the community very well, both its good points and its bad points, and I think that's something that I bring to the bench.
Let me ask you a question. What would you say right now is the biggest problem facing Fort Jervis?
Well, I think that I think as in terms of the feedback that I get from the people in Port Jervis, and that's based on going door to door and talking with the people, I think they are concerned about their neighborhoods, that the streets are safe, and of course the police have been doing a tremendous job. They really have been doing a very, very good job. People are concerned with the sale of drugs. That seems to be a very high priority. They are looking for someone who will be very firm in terms of dealing with those people that sell drugs. They are concerned the safety of their children. And really what I would characterize as a quality of life issues. Particularly the people who have lived here for many, many years. They see changes in the community, and of course change is inevitable. However, some things they see changing that they do not like. Of course, they want their neighborhoods preserved because in most cases, this is their life, their home, and their children. And I think that's really the main concerns. Those are the issues that I see. Those are the issues that I think a judge has to be sensitive to in terms of dealing with the cases. One of the things that we find that at least I find that's absolutely essential, when you sit on the bench, it's not in a vacuum. I mean, obviously you have to know the law, you have to know the parameters in which you deal, but you really also have to know the community in which you deal, because decisions are not made in a vacuum. And so I think that based on my experience, I have 20 years of courtroom experience that I would bring to the bench, and literally a lifetime of experiences in Port Jervis, dealing with various people through not only just day-to-day contact, but also the organizations that I've worked on. So I think I have a pretty good feel, a pretty good sense of what the people are looking for and quite frankly expect in a judge.
Very good. Well, we appreciate that you're taking time out to come down here today.
Well, I thank you for giving me the opportunity, and I really, again, I want to wish you all the best, and I hope you earn a lot of money today because you do a tremendous job.
And thank you and your family for your chat.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go to a tape now. So everyone stay tuned, and we'll be back in a little while.
Thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good
Now
luck.
I'm out back.
Good evening. My name is Don, and I'm on location again, and we're going to cover the first festivities of the train arrival with passengers on it. And as you can see, I'm here a little early, and Conrail has a display, a caboose in one of their cars, and we'll go around the other side and see what's in it. And here we are back at the turntable again. And as you could see, they put a fence all around it to keep the people out this time. The last time they got so close to the hole here that they were afraid someone was going to get hurt. We're going to keep right on covering it until it's all over with for the rest of the day. Here is a spot they set up for spectators. I don't know if it's for the public or officials, but there it is. Having another look at the turntable. And from what I understand, a little point of interest, for what I understand, there was a woman named Sandy Conyers who was the first woman ever to work on this turntable. And she designed a painting of it, and she did all the heavy work on this. And if she did, God bless her if she's the first woman ever to do that. And if Sandy is watching this, I hope it brings back a lot of memories, because it sure brings back a lot of memories for everyone else that was involved in this. So again, if you were the first woman, from what I understand, worked on this turntable, congratulations. So what we're going to do now is go downtown and see what's going on down there and see how much they've prepared for the arrival of the train. Then we'll come back here and see the train get turned around and do whatever. Okay. We're in back of the Erie Depot right now, and I thought this would be a good spot to start. The reason why I chose this spot is because during the steam engine times, there were stockades in this area that housed cattle, horses, and such as before they went to the slaughterhouses in New York City. And right behind me, I'll show you. This is the first livestock that's been in this area since the steam engine time. There's a couple of horses here which probably will pull a wagon of some sort on display, and we'll catch them later if we can. First goats in this area since 19 whatever. About 35 years ago, let's put it that way. A display of shoes and some clothing here made out of sheep wool. Interesting. Of course, these are Clydetails. You can see by the size of their hoofs and how big the horses are. Perfect work horses. As you can see, he's curious, wondering who I am. Beautiful horses.
They said there'd be a band through. They're all hand painted.
Ah, I see that. It's unusual.